The judge in Blake Lively's case just slapped down their psychopathic request.
And the court said no.
Breaking news, Justin Baldoni just got a big win, meaning Blake Lively got a big loss. Are her lawyers dumb?
Blake Lively is in full meltdown mode after Judge Louis Lyman played the leaked audio for the entire courtroom. This is exactly the reckoning she's been running from. She and Ryan Reynolds pulled every trick in the Hollywood handbook to bury this recording, scrubbing evidence, strong-arming outlets, even killing a podcast, but fate clearly decided to hand Justin Baldoni the mic.
Didn't record the show.
March 4th, 2025, otherwise known as the day the courtroom morphed into a live comedy roast. Judge Lyman didn't just rule against Blake's team, he obliterated them in real time. She walked in expecting to wield her star power like a weapon, and walked out looking like the legal equivalent of a train wreck.
So clear, Blake's case is falling apart. She's destroying her cred. Ryan Reynolds.
The highlight? Her spectacular in-court meltdown. Even her own lawyers couldn't hide their embarrassment. At some point, they must have realized they weren't defending a winning case, they were starring in a slow-motion implosion with no rewrite that could save it.
See a bully a bully attacking somebody. The bully being Blake Lively and our powerful lawyers. And thank goodness Justin's got support to be able to fight back this.
Blake and her team strutted into court like they were about to land the knockout punch on Baldoni's case, only for Judge Louis Lyman to glance at their absurd filing and deliver the legal equivalent of, "Are you out of your mind? You have to be operating at Olympic levels of embarrassment for a federal judge to roast you that openly."
You don't want to believe that execs at the very tippity top are being essentially threatened or bullied or coerced or extorted, and by a couple like Ryan and Blake or like Taylor Swift, right?
And the humiliation doesn't stop there. Thanks to Lyman's ruling, this disaster is going public. The next hearing will have a live audio feed, meaning the entire world gets front row seats to Blake's legal train wreck in real time.
Lawyers are stupid. It's like he's like being nice here. He's like, your lawyers are really stupid.
I, for one, cannot wait. We'll all hear the exact moment Blake realizes she played herself. No PR spin, no TMZ-flavored propaganda, just cold, hard reality blasting through the speakers. She thought she could waltz into court and demand the most ridiculous subpoenas in modern legal history. Instead, she got body slammed in the most brutal way possible.
Baldoni Universe, a judge is allowing the internet to join court. Not entirely for the whole court case, but for this Thursday, we'll be sharing live audio, not video, just audio of what goes down.
And here's where the delusion hits full throttle. Her lawyers actually demanded 2.5 years of Baldoni's phone records, texts, location data, doctor visits, you name it. She might as well have filed a motion to become his full-time stalker.
Lively obtained all of these text messages through subpoena. Okay, what's subpoena? You can only issue a subpoena if you have an open legal case. So you have to have a valid legal case. I can't just issue a subpoena to, the New York Times.
Imagine standing in a federal courtroom with a straight face and asking for GPS tracking data on someone for over 2 years. Blake, this isn't the FBI, and Judge Lyman made that crystal clear. You obviously cannot do that. That's how far into nonsense territory she wandered, no legal justification, just pure fantasy, torched on the spot.
Judge in Blake Lively's case just slapped down their psychopathic request for 2.5 years worth of every message that Justin Baldoni and Justin Heath and the PR agents have ever sent to everybody, plus location data. We knew that was going to happen.
And here's the kicker. Even if Baldoni had been running some grand smear campaign, spoiler, he wasn't, it allegedly started in August 2024. So why demand records dating back to 2022? Someone explain that logic to me like I'm 5, because right now, it's giving conspiracy theory on a corkboard energy.
Distinguish between the two, what a standard court protective order is and what Blake Lively's team is asking for, which is an attorney's eyes only designation.
It's like suing someone for defamation in 2024, but insisting on reading their Uber texts from 2022. The math simply isn't mathing. Judge Lyman was so done with it he called Blake's subpoena overly intrusive and disproportionate, which is the legal equivalent of, "Are you actually okay?" This wasn't a request for evidence, it was an application for a full-scale government surveillance program on Baldoni's entire existence.
Not able to hold a logical thought, but guess what? I, as a judge, I am able to hold a logical thought. So we're going to slap that down. You obviously cannot do.
Lyman saw right through it, and soon the public will too. That live audio feed on Thursday is going to showcase, in surround sound, just how desperate and delusional Blake's case really is. And here comes the chef's kiss, the meltdown. Witnesses say she stiffened in her chair, whispered frantically to her legal team, and visibly shook as the realization set in. Her plan wasn't just failing, it was imploding in real time. Good. This whole circus has been smoke and mirrors, and now those mirrors are shattering on cue.
And just issue a subpoena to, the New York Times.
The ruling was so brutal, so publicly humiliating, that Blake's legal team actually tried to spin it as a win. That's like getting dunked on, face planting on the court, and then standing up like, yeah, totally meant to do that. No, you didn't. You lost. Spectacularly.
The first to do this. It was Blake Lively. It was Ryan Reynolds. This was their strategy. And now they kind of want to put the genie back in the bottle. But guess what? The genie does not want to go back in the bottle. The genie likes to be free, okay?
But here's the true gut punch. The judge used Blake's own lawsuit to prove her request was legally nonsensical. She contradicted herself so badly that her own words became the weapon against her. That's Olympic-level self-owning. And where? Was Ryan Reynolds during this historic implosion? Nowhere. The man who lives for viral tweets and cheeky one-liners turned into Casper the Friendly Ghost the second reality walked into the room.
This blows my mind how dumb Blake Lively's team is, and how just, I guess, egocentric, maniacal that she thinks that she can tell the world, you didn't see what you actually saw with your eyes. It's insane.
Ryan Reynolds was too busy cosplaying as Deadpool to show up for his wife's legal train wreck. He left Blake to soak up the full public embarrassment solo, and honestly, who could blame him? No one wants their name attached to a case that's basically a courtroom dumpster fire.
Finally, we can now see that Ryan was panicked in general.
But instead of admitting defeat, taking the L, and salvaging a shred of dignity, Blake's team doubled down. No fixing their case. No presenting actual evidence. No acting like real lawyers. They sprinted straight back into court with a fresh batch of subpoenas, hoping that if they hurled enough nonsense at Judge Lyman, anything might stick.
Is it not a little hypocritical? Is this a bad look of her if she's trying to tell the courts that we should stop talking about this in public?
Turns out Hollywood power plays don't work in federal court. She tried to intimidate her way to victory, but Lyman treated her like a toddler throwing a tantrum in Walmart. Now, the legal circus is only getting worse. The world is watching. The legal system isn't buying her performance, and her reputation is crumbling in real time. And yes, this is just the opening act.
Blake says she's so glad they did, but now she wants all other footage to not come forward. And we're supposed to be like, yeah, you go, girl.
Blake didn't just look desperate, she went full Hollywood supervillain. She wanted everything: Baldoni's calls, texts, location data, work emails, even his doctor visits, like she planned to diagnose him herself. This wasn't a quest for justice, it was a fishing expedition for dirt that doesn't exist. She subpoenaed Wayfarer Studios' business records to see what Baldoni was emailing coworkers about 3 years ago. What's next? His Amazon order history.
Her lawyer's dumb. Like, what's happening? Why do they keep making these mistakes and fumbling the ball like this?
Judge Lyman wasn't having it. He glanced at her request and called it overly broad and invasive, which in legal terms is a polite way of saying, Blake, sit down. You sound insane. She was trying to turn the courtroom into an episode of Homeland, and Lyman handed her a reality check so hard it echoed. Even after she watered down the request, it still got denied, because desperation, no matter how you package it, is still desperation.
Did that. You destroyed this man's life rather than wait.
And here's the punchline: Judge Lyman's final ruling gave Blake a measly 4 months of records, August to December 2024. She came in swinging for Baldoni's entire digital footprint going back 2.5 years, and she walked out with scraps. That's what happens when you try to weaponize the legal system for a personal vendetta.
I mean, that first subpoena, as you pointed out when we talked on our prior show, it was massively overbroad. It basically asked for everything under the sun. And it was crazy. And nobody, it was never going to get granted in full. So I'm surprised they didn't back off and try to do a little more tailored at the beginning.
But oh, it gets worse. Just when Blake thought she could spin the story, the truth came crashing down. A leaked recording of Ari Emanuel, CEO of WME, just blew the lid off the biggest Hollywood cover-up of the year. Turns out, Blake and Ryan Reynolds weren't just bystanders in Baldoni's blacklisting, they orchestrated it.
Judge makes a point of like, well, then why do you need 2 years worth? In her own suit, she alleges this campaign started in August. So why the reach for 2.5 years? It was nice to see the judge really sort of acknowledge that. This was the part I'm looking.
Yes, the most powerful agent in Hollywood was caught on tape admitting he personally fired Baldoni because Blake and Ryan demanded it. Let that sink in. They didn't just watch it happen. They made it happen.
The audio, Blake and Ryan's agent seemingly didn't want you to hear.
I wonder if you could tell us about a little bit of a mess that I gather you've been involved in.
Oh, yeah. I know where you're going with this one.
Do you have notes on it?
Oh, yeah. Those are the 2 things I said to myself.
And Emanuel didn't even have the decency to say Baldoni's name. He called him baloney. Imagine getting blacklisted by your own agent and then finding out he's mocking you like a middle school bully behind your back.
So he fired him. I'm a ride or die. That's why he did it. Because he basically said, okay, fine. Yeah, Ryan and Blake, I'm going to go with you. So you did that. You destroyed this man's life rather than wait.
With that, Blake's entire victim narrative is toast. This isn't speculation anymore. It's proof that she and Ryan actively destroyed Baldoni's career. At this point, we're not even in celebrity gossip territory. This is textbook defamation.
Bad situation that Baldoni, whatever his name is doing. And
it's an effed up situation. Whatever, Baldoni, whatever his name is doing. Whatever, he's your client. What a scumbag you are.
And the worst part? The Freakonomics podcast where Emanuel made the confession just so happened to lose the recording. How convenient.